down that Renegades win.
Thank you, Freak. Gentlemen, before the game, obviously we talked about a bunch of things we'd like to see. Let's talk about some of the changes that we saw made, particularly on the side of Renegades. With that Thresh and Kennen left up, this time they opted to go for them, and they had a lot more of that early game success we were looking for from them.
Yeah, total switch around from the last game. Like, Porpoise will touch on the champions in a bit because it was actually his suggestion that they go on more playmakers. But because they had those champions, it enabled them such a more aggressive style, and it allowed them to correct when they made misplays, which I think was the biggest thing.
You could just see the big difference there was from them playing a late game scaling comp like Protect the Cog, and went for the Lee Sin, the Kalista, the Thresh, and were they playing Thresh?
Yeah, they were playing Thresh.
They definitely played.
Yeah. Yeah. So they played all these early game champions, and then they also added Kennen to the mix, which helped them for the late game, just in case they had that great team fight champion there. So at the end, you just saw that there's no way they were going to engage on them because Kennen would just counter-engage and just rip their team apart. So now I saw the Lee Sin, the Thresh, the Kalista. You just saw the difference. That game was just a stomp, and you just got to bring that to the next game and keep doing that because that's working so much better for you because you're not trying to go for the late game. You're just going to win the game right away.
Yeah, we saw a lot of really great reactive plays out of Renegades as well. We actually have a replay 10 minutes into the game in the bot lane. This was an attempted dive by Coast, actually having the man advantage, but Renegades playing it very well here.
Yeah, there were also a lot of misplays by Coast in this instance, and it was pretty much the turning point in the game since Coast was already going to be passive with the mid lane Kog'Maw anyways. Just to start this one off, though, the TPs are completely matched, and the fact that RNG gets out of this one in a 3v4 with more kills just kind of actually shows good focus. RF holds off the dive with his Kennen ultimate, which makes people not want to dive out of the turret, and Vermilion and Maple Street have enough synergy that they single off Mash on the other side and take him down. Really well played. The hook on the backside, since they were already retreating, just kind of adds insult to injury for Coast. It's an 0-2 in a 4v3, which, I mean, when that happened, we were all kind of like, yeah, it's probably over. Yep. And they were able to close from there.
Right, it kind of brings into question, though, we mentioned the fact that they picked up the Kennen and the Thresh, originally banned by Coast. The power that Remilia has on Thresh, and as you mentioned, the synergy with Maple Street, we saw them go toe-to-toe, get kills earlier in the game as well, the first blood coming through in a 2v2.
Yeah, that was another thing. I mean, Maple Street was much more comfortable this game. He wasn't relegated to playing Kog'Maw that needs to be protected by everyone, and for some reason all the ganks were still going mid lane. Like, this was just a much more measured game across the board from Renegades, and it's kind of a total difference from the first game.
Yeah, Porpoise, we did also see Coast throw 3 jungle bans on their side, red side here, as well as the Rek'Sai being banned out by Renegades. Crumb still, though, able to jump onto that Lee Sin. And thoughts on, attacking that jungle pool so deeply?
Yeah, I think they were really trying to focus on getting crumbs off of early playmakers, maybe, and he just had to back up the Lee Sin. And that was great. I like seeing them not going back to the Nunu or anything like that. Just get the high pressure early, get that early game lead, and then press it. Because our Renegades, they know how to actually press a lead a lot better, I think, than Coast. So if they get a lead, I think they're going to finish the game and have a game just like that. Just a really nice, just leeway to the end of the game. And taking towers, getting the Baron. I want to touch on that. It's just abusing the Azir and Kalista, making sure that they get rid of the vision and then they just start it once they don't know. Right. Because if you get there late, you're just there's no way you're going to take that against a Kalista with a 1.2k Ren, right? So, or 1.5k, whatever, how long they're doing it. So I think they played that correctly. Once they got that, I think the game was just too far gone.
All right. Solid win there for Renegades. With the series all tied up, we're going to step away while the teams reset for Game 3. We'll be right back with more of the Summer Challenger Series finals after this.
It's okay. Game 1 of our scrims always goes that way.
Yeah. You know who else always loses Game 1? TSM.
TSM.
He's all one hit away from dying, won't go down, but Alex Sich, can he pick this up? He needs the Q. He is going to land it.
TP, they're trying to get Peekin.
They got him for sure. Now, will they get much more? Chris teleports in. I'm not sure he wanted to. He flashes right out. Knock the structures down. RF buys some time. They knock in Peekaboo. If he goes down, that's the game. A well-controlled game. Renegades fire back.